Hello, my name is Naíla and I'm a Brazilian ecologist doing my PhD in the biology department of the University of Montreal. I came to Canada to pursue a PhD with all the challenges a PhD offers itself, plus the challenge of being a foreigner in a city whose two main languages are not my mother tongue. Currently, I do my research in English, I work as a teaching assistant in French, and of course I talk to my family and friends in Portuguese. And in the same way I had to master different languages to integrate into this new territory I'm stepping on, I'm also exploring new territories in my research. Since I started my PhD, I'm learning the computational tools we use in science to decipher the information encoded by the DNA. The research area in which we use these tools to explore the DNA information is called bioinformatics, and as I said, I'm also new to it. Basically, I feel like I'm an explorer in both ways, at my work and in my life, which seems cool, and in fact it is, it's fun, and I'm glad to have this privilege. But at the same time, I have a few dumb moments in my day-to-day life, like when I see a door where it's written push or pousser in French, I need to tell myself, push is different than pull, pousser, tirer. Because the word to pull in Portuguese is puxar, and puxar would make more sense to be translated as push, but it's the exact opposite. So please never judge someone standing for 5 seconds or more in front of a door while trying to figure out if they need to push or to pull, because this can be a real challenge. And I could tell many other fun facts of stuff that make me feel lost in translation, but I'll stop here and I'll tell you a bit of my motivation to come to this country and feel like a dumb in front of exit doors. Well, while I was growing up in Brazil, you can imagine, I was surrounded by nature. And in fact, all of us are. This is not a privilege of people who are born in tropical countries, but it's true that since I was little, I was touched by the contact with nature. I used to live close to a hill where I like to go hiking during the weekends, and also my hometown has an interesting geographic relief. It's rich in limestone, which is a kind of rock that dissolves with the rainwater, and then as a result the city has a lot of holes and even caves. And I'm just fascinated by this type of ecosystems that seem to always look the same, but in reality they are constantly changing as new limestone rocks are made and others are dissolved. Plus, it intrigued me how different forms of life are living there, coping with this changing environment. There are also a lot of lakes in my hometown, and if you are an attentive person like I was when I was a child, we will find a lot of biodiversity in there. Plants, turtles, fish, water birds, shorebirds, and plenty of tiny organisms that we only see with a microscope, the microorganisms. And you can imagine that all this curiosity about living beings in the environment led me to study biology as an undergrad. During my undergraduate studies, I immediately got fascinated by microorganisms. They are present in soil, water, inside plants and animals, in the human gut, always playing very important roles to sustain all forms of life. And in studying biology, I then realized that there was a third element in the interaction among the environment and living beings that helps to explain its complexity. So first of all, this interaction between the environment and the living beings is what we study in ecology. And the missing element that helps us to understand its complexity is evolution. Evolution can help us to understand how life adapts to environmental changes. And these environmental changes can be either natural, such as the rain dissolving the limestone rock and transforming the topography of my hometown, or human-driven, like all changes we see in the planet due to climate change and agricultural intensification right now. So today, in my PhD here at the University of Montreal, I am motivated to understand what are the factors modulating rapid adaptation to environmental stressors in microorganisms living in water, of course. And I'm glad to be surrounded by so many lakes in Quebec and Canada. I can say for sure that coming here is a good push to develop my skills in bioinformatics, science, language, and communication.